One person on each side.
Oh, it doesn't work?
It will though.
Don't get out there.
But it will.
Okay.
So we need a hay wagon.
That's fine. You just walk slow.
Hay wagon, you put a couple of little board extensions on the back with drywall screws.
Yeah,
You put 2 of them on. Shoot, these you could even stack 4 of them. They're so light you could put 4 of them at a time.
They're so light, but see what ends up happening. You keep PVC in the sun for long enough.
Oh yeah, oh I know. That's why we don't. That's why we don't build anything out of it.
What do you now?
So this is one of those situations where, see, we're doing it like Salatin, but you're not doing it like Salatin. See, so you know.
So don't blame you.
Don't blame me on it. Don't blame me on it.
So what do you actually build yours out of?
We build ours out of cast off, pressure treated 1x6s that we rip on a table saw. Now the bandsaw mill, but we rip on a table saw into the nice ones into halves for the long pieces, and the knotty pieces and kind of curvy, junky pieces into thirds for the little braces.
About the same
all
size.
Wood. 10 by 12. Looks like they're 10 by 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 feet tall. Yeah, exactly the same size. Yep.
And stability, they last.
Oh, was that 20 years?
I've heard of it.
How long have
You know what? I'm gonna tell you another little thing. When you pull them downhill, the whole thing, you've got gravity working, and you're not pulling against.
It's a lot less stress.
A lot less stress on the whole
Right.
mechanism when you're pulling them downhill.
These don't get pulled. These get picked up.
Oh, 2 people.
2 people.
One on each end. One.
Exactly. They don't. If
more-
these got dragged,
more
labor,
they
though.
would be done.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you're using more labor.
Talking about labor. Yeah. Yeah. We move 1 person on our deal. Our benchmark is 1 person moving a shelter per 60 seconds. So you should be able to. 1 person should move 60 shelters in 60 minutes.
And how do you keep water and feed inside the shelters while you're going? I mean, because we
Their water is not the watering cans like we use. He has a system that sits on top.
do you use nipples in these too?
No, we use a Plason low pressure water. The bucket sits on top of the shelter,
Right.
and gravity feeds into the water. So there's nothing the water doesn't have to be picked out and put in. The feeders we do take out.
And yeah, the spindles are all missing on all of these.
Yep.
This corner.
We didn't touch the value.
Okay.
Did you hear the spindle conversation?
I told you that a long time ago. Nobody's been taking them out to be getting away.
But see, we're having the same issue we're having in the chick cooler. You get shit and everything in there, and you actually spread the disease.
Well, the other problem is when you get onto some steep ground, it's going to be really hard to work. So you go to a hanging Plason waterer, and it'll hang level where we are. You just hang it up here, and it hangs.
So pretty much, from what it sounds, everything that you're saying, we need to set up irrigation correctly in this place because, I mean, everything that we'd like to do would be nice if we had water where we needed water. Water's number 1. Yeah, water's number one. Yeah, it really is. It really is. Yep. Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's the one you eat. Yeah, that's the one you eat. See, it's always the biggest one. He's overgrown his tendon. You can take him down and process him,
and he can be a pousson.
and so that's just from overeating.
Yeah. Well, it can also, in this case, it's probably from being cold, wet too much. He's got an infection, sets up in his knee. And see this hole here?
Abscess.
That's an infection in the knee that's splaying it sideways.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yep. And probably in this case, it's
chicken
too,
wire.
It's too cold, too wet for too long. Yeah. I mean that's the gotta understand. There's no free lunch.
Right.
If we're gonna do this, we have issues that this is why the confinement house people do confinement housing.
But the other thing though is knowing now that we can get up on the hilltops, we should be up on the hilltops when it's raining.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean,
we're down in the swamp.
Yeah, and look, it's wet. You're heading into water right here.
Why are you down here?
Yeah, it's raining. Yeah.
Well, that whole pasture where the cows are right now, We could put 4 times as many of
Absolutely.
these, march them right up, right down the thing, and take them back.
Now,
up.
one other, right down the hill. Now, one other thing. Let me just mention right here is that we stagger ours. I don't know if you've seen our pictures. We stagger them so that you touch every single square foot.
So you don't have to space them.
So you don't have to space them. You got
there's
more room
slight
to
overlap
get
like you're mowing the lawn.
The other thing is that when you get water seepage and running off, the water up here is not going into this pin, and building up toxicity as it heads down the hill. This one here would be up here, and they would be flared out this way so that the water drainage is not going from shelter to shelter to shelter.
Good point.
Okay?
Potatoes.
Well, you know, what I saw is Joel just has such a big scope of what he can see and what he understands about farming that he takes a much bigger view than we have. I mean, we've copied a lot of his processes. And I think overall, if I were to sum it up in a grade, I'd probably give us an A+ for being excited and energetic and moving forward, and a B- for execution, which I don't worry about. It's really just, you know, room to grow, if you will, and a lot we can do to optimize. But Joel thinks in terms of, will this last 20 years, and how is this going to grow to where you have 1,000 birds, not just 100 birds that you're bringing in every other week. And it was really kind of mind-opening for me to hear the way he thinks, because it's a much bigger scope, having, you know, over 20 years experience in it, and really have choosing this as his career path. Well, you know, Joel has a fee, and he doesn't do this for free. And at first, you know, we looked at his fee and said, wow, that could be a lot of money. But I will tell you, he was so generous with his time, his ideas. He literally worked until 10 that evening, and we picked him up at 7 the next morning. And we clearly got tons of value out of it. It was some of the best spent money we've invested in this whole project.
Not to mention the designs, a whole 200 pages of designs, pictures of how to build our next feather net, for the laying hens, and how to do a farrowing pen, and just on and on and on of things that you wouldn't expect to have from someone who's running a profitable business. So it's almost as though part of his mission is sustainability includes profitability. We need to be profitable, and he's going to be profitable, and he's not ashamed of that. This is not something subsidized by the government. We're not doing this for free. We are going to be profitable, and at the same time, he will do beyond what any other human being would do. In my point of view, he went so far beyond what anyone else would do to help us get to where he's at, and more than willing to contribute as much as he can. And that's his way of being. So his driving this mission across the country is, along with Michael Pollan's, just fabulous.